My name is Margaret Ann Windsor. I keep saying that because if you're just tuning in on one of my videos, I've got many on there prior the last couple of months. Um, I'm 75 years old, birthday a couple of days ago. I was kidnapped in 41 and brought to Moulton, Alabama, given the name of a twin, Peggy Ann Dempsey Childers, married to Childers. Both twins had been murdered by Lina Dempsey, their biological mother, and they were born out of wedlock. So I was placed there. She would have faced the gas chamber. So the kidnapping happened, and the only way I know that I was brought there, I don't know how I was brought there, flown or how, but there was an air base, Cortland Air Base. I assumed that I was probably flown in there, but they would have had to have known about her. It was a pigsty. Now that I found out in 83, the fall, winter of 83, about my kidnapping, and I found out about it from the Brits. Now then, I look back in my past, and some of my German relatives have been there trying to help protect me. My father's King Edward VIII. He did not marry Wallace Simpson. He was married to Claudia Ruth O'Keefe Windsor, an American Catholic Irish commoner. The New World Order took down my father with Joe Kennedy was ambassador sent there by Roosevelt, and my own uncle, who became George VI. They put a 99-year seal on my dad's takedown, which was illegal. He was still the king. But then they kidnapped me. I was born in 39, and my uncle, I even put this on prior videos. What I want to get to now is they have, I'm talking about the American people and the New World Order, who controls it all, Elizabeth and Charles. And so Elizabeth's father was George VI, illegal, helped kidnap me with the Kennedys and the New World Order and bring me to this country. Now then, I wrote a book in 77, 78 about mind control. This is before I found out about being kidnapped in my real name. I was flown out to Larry Flint's Hustler magazine, October of 83, for political help, because one of the doctors I wrote about, Congressman, his plane had gone down. Now, the reason I am writing this, Larry Flint was the man that was programmed to shoot him in Lawrenceville in March the 6th of 78. So I wrote about programming mind control, and that was back then. Now then, you can Google. There's a lot of information. The ones I told about were done in patterns, but I was given antifreeze. I even had a letter from the FBI dated June the 23rd of 79. I worked for the district attorney. I should have died, by the way. So my life has been hell, harassment, you name it. Now then, when I came to Roanoke in October of 86, my jobs were shut down. I lived on the Appalachian Trail, froze just to have and starved, and the people around here watched it. They're afraid of the mess. Later, they became even more afraid because of the shootings at Virginia Tech, the 33, and the psychiatrist who finished school at Georgia Tech. He was born here in Roanoke, Benton, the Fort Hood shooter. So the agency that's doing the programming and killing go in ahead of me, I'm told. I get too many names, so there's nobody that doesn't believe it. They're afraid of it. They go in and they get stuff on people, and the people comply because they're not going to have to pay for the crimes. The laws ask them to do it. So I'm going to stop here. They pretty much done me like Jean Seberg when she was killed, COINTELPRO, in November of 79. The antifreeze was put in me April the 1st of 80. So they've done anything they wanted to me. My life has been a living hell, and I don't know where my sons are, if they're alive or dead. And I tried to get an attorney. When I finally got a legal aid, when I called back and he wouldn't talk to me. Now that I've called back and I've been told that he lost contact with me, that I've been right here. So that was a lie. And so, anyway, there's no anybody that can't be had. Now then, the last years, if I don't get a place to live when I'm able to afford it, if your jobs are shut down, it's a little rough. Then they threaten me with locking me up, and you're a bag lady, you're nuts, and all this. So they've gotten away with anything they wanted to do to me. Now then, what I am allergic to is chemicals. That's the illness I have, an immune problem. I get really sick, and my immune system attacks itself. Now then, they've made me look like, if I tell this, people know I'm telling the truth, but they're afraid of it. So over the years, when I get a place to live, I mean, trespassing, I can't go to the law. They're telling them to do it. So I'm going to leave it there because you've got Section 8. I'm having to beg to stay in Section 8 even, a low income. Now then, the FBI, the U.S. Marshal, I don't know exactly. I've got the names of the people. I've been in court at the same time they have. So the fact is nobody will investigate the people doing it to me. So I have been soaked with chemicals. My body has responded by my liver, my kidneys, my veins. When I was living at Reverend Moore's in Bedford, his was a low income, and it was a new one. And I was actually told by one of the people who lived next door to me, Beverly. She said, you know what they're putting in your place. They usually vents, air conditioners, or just walk in and soak your place. It doesn't do any good. Who am I going to go to? She says they're making your veins. They're going after your veins. And she was right. I know my veins were stinging, and I know they were doing stuff to me. And she was afraid to tell me. Now, how she knew, I don't know. I don't even know why she was there. But they pretty much worked me over. They've killed me on a daily basis, and everybody's afraid of it. Now then, I have resorted to going to YouTube and Facebook and putting this on there. And what I've gotten, I want to see if this is even going here. I'm going to have to hurry it up. I usually show pictures of my dad and my uncle in 39 and all this when he's with Roosevelt, and some of the mind control murders that have been done in patterns that, if it's ever told, it's the sickest thing. Mind control, they try to make it sound like it's a person's mentally ill, which is preposterous. One has nothing to do with the other. They're using it as a murder weapon. I want to get back what they've done to me. Everywhere I go, they've soaked me in chemicals. They make me look like a fool, really, and people have allowed it. I have always paid my rent on time or ahead of time. So I have not been evicted. I have nothing. I paid my rent. I've left and had to break a couple of leases because of the fumes and stuff. And my body is totally deteriorated. Now then, I have gone back. This is pretty bad. I've tried to leave Roanoke, but I'm always have to come back here, in part because I've had the forest to go to and camp when things were so bad. Now I don't have that. It's the dead of winter, and I can't even get around. I'm 75 years old. Now I want to read you from Reverend Moore's place, and you'd have to get these people before a court of law and have them perjuring themselves. And somebody has to tell the truth, and one that does tell the truth, you know that they all have lied. They are joined a conspiracy. They have assault with a deadly weapon to me when they've soaked me over and over. Now then, I went back to Reverend Moore. He has a whole bunch of these Section 8 housing, and he had a new one in Christiansburg last year. But that's near Virginia Tech. So I didn't commit these crimes.